Hey, do you think animation will ever be taken seriously? Animation predates live-action cinema and even photography by centuries, and yet it is still treated as less than. I think people tend to forget that animation is a medium, not a genre. Animation can be the most light-hearted piece of content you've ever seen, or downright the most disturbing thing. It can be filled with action, but also horror. It can be filled with love and violence. Just like there's no limit to human creativity, there's no limit to animation. If you can think it, animation can do it. I, like most people, still watch and enjoy my fair share of live action entertainment. I'm not here to be anti-live action. Some of my favorite films and TV shows are live action. Heck, I even enjoy my fair share of live action adaptations. Even in college, I made my fair share of live action short films because I simply love the medium. But I also made my fair share of animated short films because I love that medium too. I think that live action and animation are both beautiful in their own right. However, one medium is always taken more seriously than the other. So, this is a love letter and brief history of animation. Yes, not every animated piece is going to be great or even good. Just like live action, it can become repetitive or stale. But just because there's a few bad ones, does that mean you stop watching altogether? There are plenty of bad songs out there, but that doesn't mean you stop listening to music. And you already know there's so many bad movies and bad TV shows, but you still watch the good ones, right? Or at least ones that you enjoy.
You are not!
This kind of mentality should be the same for animation. Don't get me wrong, there are, I think, some things that live action can capture that's a little hard, difficult, not impossible, but difficult for animation to replicate, whether or not it's on purpose.
You better hold on tight, spider monkey.
Or live action is simply what works best for the story you want to tell. But who's to say that animation isn't the best way to tell your story? Animation is limitless. You can do anything with animation. Animation is able to create these fantastical, beautiful worlds. It can have beautiful motion, beautiful colors, beautiful lighting, cinematography, fantastic acting, good music, so many dramatic motions, but also simplicities, very faint movements or no movement at all. This is what animation can do. And animation can be a great medium to tell a story because it can tell any story.
Where we will live happily ever after.
During the dark age of animation from the 1950s to mid-80s, animation was actually deemed too dark and violent and inappropriate for children.
You know, Ralph, compared to you, the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan is a flaming liberal.
I know. That's why I never joined.
Not to mention the blatant and rampant racism in animation ever since the Silent Age. As animation slowly started moving from short theatrical release films to television shows, the audience shifted as well. It went from adults going to the cinema, to families, to children just watching shows on the TV. But it still wasn't made just for kids. It just happened that the audience was kids. In fact, the only reason why animation was ever deemed for kids was because of the constant demand for it. Even back then, they pushed animators and the quality became worse. Animation started to become censored, budgets started getting cuts, and that's when outsourcing began. Having people in foreign countries animate because it's cheaper than doing it in-house or in America. Though it was the adults that wanted the animation, the poor quality shows that aired were left for the children, who never really had a choice or a say in what they could watch. Even though there are some TV shows where some things are to be desired, the animation features were a true
Welcome to the Renaissance.
Adults have been trying to tell other adults that animation isn't just for kids for decades.
Oh, that's for kids.
Yeah, you'd think that because they're puppets. So the show seems to have a children's aesthetic. Yet the dialogue is unquestionably sharp-edged, witty, and thematically skewed to adults.
Especially in today's time. I'm so tired of the statement that animation is for kids when it simply is not. Just because something is drawn doesn't mean only one kind of audience can enjoy it. We give such high praise to museum art. There are critics, and they are worth millions of dollars. And truth be told, most children might not even enjoy the complexities and depth that these art pieces have. But all of a sudden, when these paintings move, it's for children? It's still a work of art that a human poured their heart and soul into, and months and even years of time went into the piece that you're looking at. It still tells a story. It brings up social, political, emotional, and personal issues. Why is it when the exact same story is told in live action, it's suddenly darker and more mature than the animation? Is it because we can relate more when we see an actual real human on screen? No. Are things more emotional when we see it in live action? No. Does death or love feel more real when an actor pretends to do it versus an animated character? No. Do things always look better or cooler in live action? Again, no. Oh, it's not going to look right in live action. It's not realistic. Then maybe it shouldn't freaking be in live action. Maybe it was animated for a reason. Listen, I am all for live action movies, but I am not for live action remakes, to be honest. And besides, CGI is still animation. So what is the point of calling it live action? Refusing to watch something just because it's animated severely limits your palette for pure art and entertainment. I cannot emphasize enough, but you are severely missing out on something amazing and could even change your life.
I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad.
I can't talk about animation without diving into the world of anime. It is vast and there is so much to discover. Anime gets a lot of unfair judgment for being quote-unquote weird. There is an excessive hate for anime and anime watchers in general, and that's something I personally just do not understand. Why do you want to hate someone for enjoying something? Why is it cringe to be in an anime fandom or cosplay as your favorite character, but it's okay to ask me what my Harry Potter house is?
I'm a what?
A wizard.
And yeah, anime, I'm not gonna lie, it can get weird, but didn't The Shape of Water win an Oscar? I know y'all watched Game of Thrones. I know about the incest. Have y'all never seen an artistic indie film before? Those things are weird. It's not just anime.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
The ones that hate anime don't even hate it for the poor industry. Which, yes, both in anime and live action, the industry itself isn't all that great. In fact, the ones that are most critical of the anime industry are the ones that love anime the most. Even if you don't watch anime, which you should, you cannot deny the beauty, the skill, the passion, and the storytelling that also goes into anime. And even nowadays, anime is also getting the same live action treatment, which sometimes it's alright, sometimes it's not. Just because it's live action doesn't mean it's more valuable or better. Sometimes animation is the better option, period. Though, in recent years, there's been a rise in animation. More people have been noticing and appreciating animation. There have been an influx in indie animation, really good indie animation, by either small companies or even one-person teams. It's truly amazing how people are taking any financial or censorship or limitation problems in the industry and creating something with lore, depth, comedy, and fun or memorable characters. People are making real-life passion projects, and it's amazing. I didn't even dive into the world of video games. I kept this particular subject out because it raises a whole new set of issues and questions, and at the end of the day, a video game experience is different from watching a show or a movie. In games, you directly interact with the environment and characters, but for movies and shows, it's more passive. And finally, there is one last thing that is a very new development in the world of animation. Nope, and I'm not getting into it. I am not here to be angry. Animation captures something that most cameras simply cannot, and that is pure imagination. Your mind is your only limitation. If you can think it, animation can do it. Now, I can talk about how wonderful animation is and how many steps goes into it and just how complex it truly is. But since the beginning of time, animation truly speaks for itself. So, the question still remains, will animation ever be taken seriously? And the answer is yes, but only if you take it seriously. Thank you for watching. I know I didn't go super in depth with everything I was talking about, but I wanted to be a little bit more lighthearted. Again, a love letter to animation. So if you want something a little bit more research-based, a little longer, a little bit more in-depth, do let me know. But I hope you enjoy watching this video, and go watch something animated and tell me what it is. What is your favorite animated movie or animated TV show? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you nerds next time. Bye.